Hey, everybody, on this AFC NFC Championship game Sunday, let's get right to it. Oakland News Now Daily for this day, and it is January 29th of 2023. This is the fifth edition of what is a daily video blog in the tradition of Rocketboom and called Oakland News Now Daily with some Herb Caen mixed in. And since what Rocketboom was and who Herb Caen is, I prefer that to was covered before. Let's get started. First, my apology for unintentionally getting out of my daily routine. I have had a health challenge that caused me to just, get more rest. And now that's over, I'm back in the saddle. Simply put, what happened was a type of blood pressure medicine assigned to me by Kaiser is what I happen to be allergic to, Lipisil. As soon as Kaiser discovered the problem, I dumped it. The reaction was, frankly, rather bothersome. Fluid that developed in my right jaw that moved to my mouth and lips. Fortunately, and again, with Kaiser's help and God's blessing, I was able to take the right medication to get back to normal, as you see. But I have to candidly say that for a while there, my lips and mouth looked like the logo for the Rolling Stones. Item. It was January 28th, almost the end of the month of 2023, and Oakland still has no replacement for the outgoing City Administrator Ed Reiskin. The name announced, Stephen Falk, who was with Oakland before 2 years ago, will not arrive until March. Talk about a leadership gap. Item. During the search for a replacement for the outgoing City Administrator Ed Reiskin, Mayor Thao told Oakland City Assistant City Administrator LaTonda Simmons that she, quote, found someone with more experience, unquote, to replace Mr. Reiskin. LaTonda has logged 20 years and 8 months with the City of Oakland. Mayor Thao has not selected anyone who has more experience within the City of Oakland than LaTonda. Everyone who knows Oakland believes LaTonda should have been the next city administrator after Ed Reiskin. In fact, there are a number of people who believe that LaTonda should have been selected to be city administrator instead of Ed Reiskin when Mayor Libby Schaaf allowed a number of African-American, very well qualified African-American female city administrators to leave for other cities, like Marrakesha Smith, for example. Item. Fitzgerald Park in Oakland City Council District 3 has had someone shot in the face on Saturday, a possible homicide on Christmas Eve 2022, a homicide on November 28th of last year, and is the focus of a Department of Justice investigation. If we're not going to close the park, then at least get some security down there and pay for it as part of a tax income financing program. Item. Every time there's a murder in Oakland, or now Mayor Thao's placement of Police Chief Lauren Armstrong on leave, there's a public meeting of what to do. This habit started with the pandemic. So far, none of these gatherings have led to an adopted solution. How about no meetings and more action, or some action? Item. The Oakland Secret Film Festival is seeking submissions, and the deadline is February 10th. The submissions must be at or less than 20 minutes long. Anything over that will be rejected. Go to oaksff.com. That's OAKSFF.com for more information and to submit your movie. Good luck. So in closing, if you like this format, let me know at zenny@zenny62media.net, or hey, drop a tip for Zenny62 Media Incorporated as the company employs this piano player at your favorite bar, kind of like the alley cat at 3325 Grand Avenue, my place. I'm not saying I play piano there. Okay. I'm saying I'm playing the piano here for you and, here as if I were playing at your favorite place. The tips are in the link below. And if you have a news item, please let me know. The email is zenny@zenny62media.net. Stay tuned. Thanks, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, and I want to make this comment before I leave. The Memphis police situation is downright horrible. Downright horrible. And it's an example of how we as African Americans save our worst behavior for other African Americans. We need to have a national discussion of how to think better about each other. That's the real problem. The examples of how Black folks don't like Black folks are all over the place. Stereotyping each other, or if someone meets a person like me of late, this hasn't happened in quite some time, they will say, "Oh, you talk like a white person." I haven't heard that in 20 years, but now all of a sudden it's a thing again. It means that there's an anti-intellectual bent that's driving us, some of us, that's causing those who do that or who adopt that way of thinking to not prize people who have a processed way of thinking, clear language that doesn't involve slang, and an interest in mathematics and science. So that's just one example, to stop that. There was a time not too long ago when we had the right mix. Now, I'm not talking about when I say Blacks not liking each other or saving our worst behavior. I'm not talking about dating or anything like that. Because I've had a number of examples of people like Mr. Rizzo, my teacher at Skyline High School, who bragged about being Italian, and yet his girlfriends were not always Italian. And he had a love of life that was infectious that I have internalized to this day. If other cultures within America can love who they are and yet share who they are with other people who don't look like them and be proud of it, there's no reason that we as African Americans can't do that and then love each other at the same time. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark OaklandNewsNowBlog.com. That ends this broadcast.